Hey guys, and what is up, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be seeing if the iPhone 6s is still a usable phone in 2022. Stay to the end, let's get started. So the iPhone was released back in 2015, but I think Apple have really smashed the design of the iPhone 6s. So at the back here we have a very nice metallic titanium finish. I did buy this in the rose gold color. This was actually one of the most popular colors when it came out. So we have the camera here, which is 12 megapixels, which we'll get to slightly later along in the video. And we have the flash here. If you come to the right hand side, we have the silent switch to put your phone into silent mode, the volume rocker for volume up, volume down. If you come to the right hand side, we have our power button and the SIM. At the bottom of the phone, we have the 3.5mm headphone jack, which is quite a big advantage even in 2022. And we still have the Apple Lightning port, which is good because most modern smartphones or modern iPhones still use the Lightning port. And we have the speaker over here. If you come to the front, we have a very nice looking screen here. So Apple did even include the fingerprint scanner, the Touch ID, which they've done really well. It's very accurate as well when you touch onto it. I think generally Apple have done a really good quality screen as well, except from the durability of it, because I did manage to crack the screen, which does give a question mark on how durable are Apple phones, especially their screens and their back glasses nowadays. I think generally the screen itself, if you talk about the quality, they've done really well. Well, whether if it's still worth buying in 2022, well, I'd say if you have the iPhone 6s, it's definitely worth keeping it, probably as like a spare phone or something, because you probably will need a backup phone if your old one breaks, and it is quite a good option to have. Although it can also depend on your usage. For example, if you're like an elderly person or you don't use a phone much, you only want to use it for web browsing or something like that, the iPhone 6s is definitely a great choice. There's no point spending tons of money on like a new phone if you're only going to use it for like web browsing or just texting or using social media or calling someone. So in that kind of purpose, the iPhone 6s is still a really good option, but it just depends on your usage. So the iPhone 6s camera is only 12 megapixels, but nowadays, to be honest, megapixels do not actually matter in a camera. It's more about the software and how it uses light to accurately capture an image. But I think again, Apple have really smashed the camera on the iPhone 6s. If I have to be honest, if you do get like a budget phone in 2022 and compare it with the iPhone 6s camera, either it will be exactly the same or the iPhone 6s will beat it, from my experience. So, I've got some things here just to generally show you guys. It is quite a good camera. It looks nice and clear, definitely on my side here. Even close up, I was surprised how good it actually is. So, for example, I just taken a picture of a tree in my back garden, but I was generally surprised by the quality. Definitely how well Apple's camera is balancing out the light and the tree itself, how it could, because it's nice and balanced, you can get all the visual details, which I think is really nice. And we also have the snow, which you can kind of see here, which they've done very nice. It's nice and balanced, which is good. Speaking about video, well, the iPhone 6s is able to record in 4K, which is really good as well. 4K resolution for a phone made in 2015 is such a positive, which just shows how powerful the CPU is within the iPhone 6s. It's again nice and clear, and it balances out the colors really nicely from all the things I have here, so which is a really good positive as well. So Apple are known for their incredibly good quality screens. So I'm playing this video here and it's playing at 1080p, and I think Apple have done a superb job at the screen itself. It has a very nice dynamic range, and if you look at the colors here, it is providing and generating them at a really nice quality. The greens are really nice balanced out, as you can see here. The refresh rate, well, this video is 60 frames per second, so that's what it is doing. And it's just generally really nice. And if you look at all angles of the screen, You can't really see any flickering because most budget screens, especially, or even some top-end phones, can notice flickerings if you do look at them in slight angles. But on the iPhone, I think they've done a really good job at that. I cannot see any flickering whatsoever. So well done, Apple. So the iPhone 6s is powered by Apple's A9 processor, which runs at 1.84 gigahertz per second. One thing that did surprise me the most is how good that processor still actually is in 2022. I managed to get off FIFA Mobile here, and it's in fact playing at high graphics at 60 frames per second. Now this surprised me so much because, especially a phone made in 2015, one of Apple's iPhone 6s's rivalries was the Samsung S5, and when I play FIFA Mobile on that phone, it just lags way too much. But I was so surprised how smooth it is on the 6S, and I wasn't even expecting to just get such a good gaming performance. And remember, it is only backed by 2 gigabytes of RAM. So if you compare like a budget phone that was made in 2021 or 2022, in terms of CPU and performance, you know what? The iPhone 6s is really going to beat that phone, surprisingly, but what a phone this is. The only problem I have while gaming is that it is only 2000 milliamp battery, which means you aren't going to get that much of a game time on the phone. Also, the processor isn't really that battery efficient, especially while gaming. So you are going to start to feel the phone getting really hot. I think it can reach temperatures for up to 40 or even 50 degrees at times. So just be a bit aware of that when playing some really high FPS games, is that the iPhone will get quite hot quite really quickly. And the battery may not last as long. You may have to end up charging the phone like 10 times a day if you want to game on there. So just keep that in mind. Although for general performance such as web browsing, you aren't going to have a problem at all. It's nice and smooth. Apple have designed iOS 15 really well on this phone. I'm surprised they've even made support for it because of how old the phone is. Even phones like I referred to, the Samsung S5 only stopped at Android 6. iOS 15 is still quite an updated iOS, and I also still do receive security updates, which is a really good positive as well. So in conclusion, I think the iPhone 6s is still a definitely usable phone in 2022. It just depends on how you want to use the phone. So for basic use such as phone messaging, watching videos, it will definitely get you through the day. You just don't want to put a lot of strain on it by doing some really high intensity gaming, because that's going to make the phone really hot, and then that will have a direct impact on the battery, and that will degrade all other things on the phone. You probably won't want to use it for gaming, but as a general user, it would be a definite great choice. For gaming, you probably want to go for something like the iPhone 11, 12, 13, 14. You get the gist. Quite like a latest phone made from probably around 2019, 2020 onwards. You probably will have a good bet like that. But in general, one thing that surprised me the most is that it's only packed with 2 gigabytes of RAM, and it gives you such an amazing performance. So yeah, I think Apple have really done well on this phone to make it quite a long-lasting phone. And that is the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.